Hi there, it's Michael here with another guitar lesson from Northern Ireland. This is Muse's new song called Won't Stand Down. Now then, the reason I wanted to learn this was as soon as I heard it, I heard the low B string in there. So I'm assuming this is on a 7 string, or there is a way you could play it on the 6 string. You could just take what would be your low E string and tune it down to a low B. But bear in mind, it's going to be kind of flopping all over the place, so you might want to put a thicker string on for that. Or it gives you an excuse to get a 7 string if you don't have one. Okay, let's get into the lesson. So you start off the song with a couple of hits on a B minor triad. So that's 16 on the G string, 15 on the B, 14 on the high E. And you're just going to play that, do a rest note, play it again, do a rest note. Before we go into the verse that we're going to look at now. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how the verse goes. So we're playing low B strings in amongst some triad chords on the skinnier strings. Now if you're doing this in the 7 string, it is quite a big jump, so it's a little tricky at first. So the first chords you're going to hit are this B minor triad. So that's fret 16 on the G string, 15 on the B, and 14 on the high E. There we go. So hit 2 low Bs, and then you're going to kind of stab this chord 3 times with some rest notes in between. Okay, that's going to be the sequence as we go, and then after you've done 2 low Bs again, you switch to what would be a G triad. So that's 16 on the G, 15 and 15 on the high E. That's the chord. Then we change to another kind of chord. This is an E minor triad. So fret 16 on the G, 17 on the B, and 15 on the high E. And then you go back to the B minor again. So then the second part of the verse repeats that same sequence, but we're missing out some of the chords now. We're just doing some of the low B hits on that low B string. So this will be the second part of the verse. And then we'll start to have some fun soon with that main riff. So let me show you how the verse ends and the main riff starts, and I'm going to do it a bit slower. And a bit faster. Okay, so I'll break that down for you. So as the main riff starts, you've played 1 low B to end the verse, and then you're going to play 3 more low Bs like this. So let's just say it's 4. Then we start doing little pull-off riffs running across the low B. So the first one would be this. So you're going to play the first fret, pull off, and then as you're bouncing between these notes, you're filling it in with low B palm mutes. So 1, pull off, couple of low Bs, 3, pull off. And to get these pull offs audible, you kind of have to pull the finger and flick off the string a little bit, and it's the speed at which you do it that's going to make the notes pop out. Okay, so you kind of have to pull the string a little bit. Okay, there's a fine line between pulling it too much and not enough, so you have to work at that a little bit. So after the pull off from 3 down there, you're going to fill in 4 low B palm mutes, then go to 7, do a couple of low B palm mutes, go to 8, and you pull off there, and then you do 4 low B palm mutes. So let me make sense of that for you. Then the last part of this main riff is all these last bits are palm muted. You go up to fret 10, hit it twice, fret 11, hit it twice, and that completes the riff. So let's put it all together. Okay, into the chorus, so I'll play it slowly. And then another main riff comes in there. It's really fun to play that main riff once you get it down. Okay, the chorus is a bit simpler. Now I'm just giving you it as single notes here, but if you're doing it on a 7-string like me, you could turn these into 5 chords. You know, if you want to do that, but let's just go for the single notes here. So a full bar on fret 8, and this is playing 16th notes. So if you want to count this out, it would be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Then go up to fret 9, do the same. Up to fret 10. 11. 12. Down to 8. Then we got to change the rhythm a bit, go down to fret 3. So you're going to play 3 of those open. And then you finish the bar with 4 muted 16th notes there. And you have to let the last note ring into the next bar before we go to fret 2, and this is a little bit tricky and syncopated at first, so let me just play this on its own. And as we arrive at 2 here, let me just break this down slowly for you. So you're going to start this on an up pick, by the way. So you've let that 3 ring out from the last bar. Then the 2 you're going to hit is with an up pick. Okay, so just check the tab closely there. Make sure you're keeping the pick always on the move. And this is really 16th note stuff, so it's always moving 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And try and keep that pick in hand moving whilst you're leaving the gaps there between the notes. That'll help you sync up the rhythm a bit more. Okay, now we've covered most of it. Another main riff comes along, so you already know how to do that. But just because I want to play it again, this is it. Very fun to play. Then you've got another verse, and you do a lot less in that second verse. You're still doing those chord stab kind of things, but there's a lot less of them here. So let me just do the second verse for you to make sense of it. And I should say, after you've finished the riff from before, you've got one single low B at the end of the bar, and then another one at the start of the verse. So it's still kind of 2 low Bs, like the pattern's been from before. Let me do that for you. Okay, hopefully that makes sense there. Now on to the verse, second verse. So we've done our 2 low B hits there. then you're going to be sitting out a lot of the bars here. So here we go. And I just went ahead and played the main riff and chorus again because that's all the same stuff. So then the breakdown starts with a big low B string. And then you're going to be doing these dead note scratches in between everything with a quick down, up, down, up. So let me just do that first part of the breakdown for you. That's it. Okay, now the next part of it is sort of similar to the main riff, some similar ideas. Very, very heavy and metal. Okay, so you're doing these kind of pull-off ideas again. Start at fret 1 and you're flicking off, and then everything in between is going to be palm muted on the low B string. So you're doing your 1, pull off, filling in the rest of the notes with palm mutes, going up to 10, pulling off, filling in the notes with low B palm mutes, going back to 1, pulling off. That's the first part there. Okay, then the second bar, you've got a couple of low Bs to do at the start of the bar. So before you do your 10 pull off there. Okay, so 10 pull off, fill the notes in, 1 pull off, fill the notes in, and then you play fret 3 4 times at the end of the bar, palm muted. So this is those two bars together. Now do the same again, but the ending's going to be a bit different. And we're doing, I think these are low B hits. It's hard to exactly hear what's being played there, but it sounds cool this way anyway. To finish off, like the second time you do that, you're still starting that second bar with a couple of low B palm mutes and going to your 10. Then you're filling in to halfway through the bar with low B hits. And then to finish, you're going to do a couple of groups of triplets, and I would just do these as downstrokes at the end. Like that. That sounds good to me there. And then I'll put that together. Okay, so next bit you've got to grab fret 22, what would be on the low B, so it's an A note. If you can't quite manage it up here, you can find it on another string. We've got to kind of slide into it, give it some vibrato, and then we're going all the way down to the lower part of that string. Okay, something like that, and then we've got to fill in some low B palm mutes before doing our pull off idea again. So that's the first bit there. Okay, then the second bar is more kind of like the riffs we did earlier in the song. Okay, so those two bits together. Then second part of that riff, you're going to slide to 19. So this is an F sharp note you're looking for. Okay, and it's very similar in how it finishes there. So let me do that slowly. So get a 19, an F sharp. Then go to 10, and you're going to start the riff here. So you didn't fill in low B palm mutes there. Okay, so it's a little bit different. There we go. So that completes the breakdown there. Okay, the rest of the song plays out with bits we've really done already. So another chorus, exactly the same as the other ones we've done. Then the outro is like a mix of riffs here. So let me put this together for you. Okay, so the chorus was the same, then the outro riff has half of it is the main riff. And then you go into one of the riffs from the breakdown that we were just doing before. Okay, so there you go. There's a nice, cool, heavy song that you can play on a 7-string, or you can tune that low E down to a low B, and you could still play the whole song.